Yeah, so I actually got, I guess what really got me into climbing is I bought a guidebook for rock climbing. And so I bought that guidebook. I had it for about a year. I didn't really know a whole lot about climbing or the sport of it. But on a whim, I decided to, about a year after buying the guidebook, I went up to Grayson Highlands, found out they rented pads. So I rented a pad, kind of went outside with this book and kind of luckily went to the right boulders for someone that's kind of getting into it. And within an hour or two of that first session, I definitely knew that it was something I really wanted to do more of. And slowly but surely, I started to meet more folks and get involved within the climbing community a little deeper as my experience kind of went up, and I met other climbers. And from there, I've kind of gone all over our region and climbed with some really good buddies. In fact, the 4 of us that started this gym, we long before we thought about opening a climbing gym, we were all friends climbing outside. So
I come from Chattanooga. That's where I kind of grew up, and I started climbing down there. And I've always been a climber, specifically bouldering. I really fell in love with bouldering, and so I've been doing it for a long time. And then I moved to Bristol about 13 years ago and met Jesse. I'm not exactly sure when I met Jesse, but being a climber here in Bristol, there's not a whole lot of us. So I quickly met Jesse and started getting out and climbing with him. And our other partners, Aaron and Brad, they're very involved in the climbing community. And we all really came together.
Luckily, we found this building probably quicker than we necessarily were ready for it, but it definitely got us in gear and made us motivated to make more definite plans. We found this, we were riding bikes, we came over the hill, we saw this building, we're like, oh, this is the perfect space. It's an open warehouse, really fits what we need. It has 20-foot ceilings. So from then we decided we would kind of assemble our team. We got Aaron on board, we got Brad on board, me and Matt kind of headed the charge here in Bristol. And we began working with a wall company, working with the floor and the foaming, and then also started working on a small business loan. And through all that, we learned a lot. It was probably a year process from when we first found this building to actually walking inside for the first time and signing the dotted line with our name attaching us to this building. So yeah, majority of the people that come to our gym are probably new climbers, and it's been really neat seeing that and see people that have been coming in for months now and really picking things up and really starting to learn a lot. And when people come in their first time, we go through and we give every person an orientation. We kind of go over the rules of the gym, we give them technique. And really just spend time if they've never climbed before, kind of helping them, guide them along in that learning process. We also offer, once a month, we offer bouldering for beginners classes. And so they're limited to 8 people, so that way folks can come in and get one-on-one experience with our teachers as we kind of go over a little bit more in-depth with on and off the wall skills. So on Tuesday mornings, we come in about 9 a.m. The holds are already taken off the wall. In fact, on Monday nights, we take the holds off the wall that we're going to reset for the following morning. We take them out, all the holds, we take them down, we take them outside, we pressure wash them. They look like brand new holds. They come back inside, they dry overnight, and then Tuesday morning, we walk in. There's a bunch of brand new looking holds, and then we set all the problems in here that are color coordinated, so use light color holds to climb from the bottom to the top. And so we'll just pick a color of a hold that we want to set a problem with, and we start doing that. And there's a little bit of technique to that and making sure that things are within span, so height isn't necessarily an issue for how difficult the climb is. And it's a little bit of an involved process. We start at 9 a.m. and we finish about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And the nice thing is, though, if you come in here, it's new problems every Tuesday. It's about 20 new individual climbs every Tuesday, but it gives you 4 weeks to work an individual section of the wall. So 4 weeks to get those ones that are really hard for you, but then also there's turnover every week. And so you build your skills in here and then you take that outside. The nice thing about outside is A, you're outside, it's wonderful to be outside, but B, the the rock's always going to be the same outside. That same boulder problem is going to be there now as it is 10 years from now, whereas in 4 weeks all our problems are going to change. So you can go outside and try that V4 that was really hard for you and you couldn't do any moves on, and then 2 years of training in here, and then you go back to that same problem and you're warming up on it, and it doesn't feel nearly as hard. So.
This gym's totally unique. There's no other gym in the country that looks like this with the same angles. We designed it from the ground up with the help from their design team. Yeah, there was definitely a design phase where me and Jesse and Aaron and Brad, the owners, we designed it how we wanted it, and we designed these walls to reflect the style of climbing that we have here. So a lot of it is overhanging roofs. So we do have the adjustable wall back there is a kilter board. It's a dedicated training board, and it's fully adjustable, meaning the angle changes. You can go behind it, press a button, and the angle will change from 70-degree overhung to 20 degrees upright. And it's really a neat training board because you can connect with different gyms all across the world that have the same board and do the same problems and grade them the same. So you get a little bit more of a consensus on like grading and how hard a climb is and things like that. So it's a really good addition to the gym. I think we're maybe, I know there's one in Asheville and there's one in Knoxville. They're not the same as ours, but there's very few gyms that offer a kilter board. So we're really happy to offer that to our members and day pass users. There's a lot of different benefits to bouldering. Bouldering is sort of unique when you compare it to other forms of climbing, and that is very social. You're hanging out with climbers. You know, there's one person climbing, but then everyone else is kind of hanging out, talking to each other, sharing different ways to do the climb and things like that. So you really get to know people through climbing. Some of my best friends are all climbers. I've gotten to know them through climbing, and you get to going outside and climbing with people and taking these big adventures and challenges, and it's a great way to get to know someone. But it's also a really great form of physical activity. You're burning tons of calories, you're using your full body, you're using your own body weight. And I've heard many people say that they enjoy it as opposed to just lifting weights because it's a fun, engaging thing to do. It's not as maybe boring as just, you know, lifting weights. So yeah, it's a fun way to work out. It's a lot physical, but it is just as much mental. Bouldering, you know, we call them boulder problems. So if I'm climbing a problem or a route, it's called a boulder problem, and that's because you have to figure it out. It's kind of like a puzzle that you need to use your body to figure out. So it's very mentally engaging. You do have to think, you do have to problem solve, and so I love that aspect of it too.
We got 5-year-olds that come here and impress people in their 30s, and then we got 70-year-olds that come here that are here weekly and enjoying it and getting after it and staying healthy and really impress some of the younger crowds. So it's really a good mix of everyone. So we're starting a bouldering league. This is the first time we've done it. So what it'll be is like teams of 4 people throughout the gym will kind of join together, and they'll compete with other teams throughout the gym. And it's going to be about an 8-week class or 8-week league. And they'll just kind of compete based on their own level. This year, right now, we have lined up for a youth team. We'll probably start that after our bouldering league kind of finishes up. And so we'll take a lot of kids around the gym that are really kind of getting into it and taking interest into it, maybe want to like offer them a team aspect to it. And there are other climbing gyms that travel around and they compete against each other. And so hopefully we can build the base this spring and summer, and then when that fall season starts, we'll have them kind of ready and at a place where they're ready to go travel to other places. We're located here in Bristol, Tennessee, right across from the Eastman Credit Union. We're open Monday from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Tuesdays are weird because we reset in the morning, so for that reason we don't open until 3 o'clock on Tuesday. So we're 3 to 9 p.m. on Tuesdays. Wednesday through Saturday we're 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Sundays 1 to 7.
as long as I've lived here, I've really wanted a climbing gym to open up, and I never thought that I would be the one to do it, but that's how it worked out. The opportunity came my way, and I just sort of jumped on it because we've all really always known the need. There are a lot of climbers in the area, but we've never had a place to connect and get together as a community. So I just knew that this place would be the place to do that. So yeah, I'm grateful, I'm honored. I'm really happy that we could be the ones to open a gym and bring the community together and really sort of form that climbers community.